There is humor and lightness in many Kenneth Cobonpue's designs, like this chair called the Chiquita.
It's a fun piece when you're preparing to sit in a hard thing, because yes, the surprise makes it doubly more comfortable.
That's what I find with many of your pieces. There's a humor.
I mean, that's my personal, that's my, I like that. I like humor.
It's like you're playing a joke on someone.
It's play. It's what I've been doing since, ever since I was a child. It's all play.
Kenneth Cobonpue believes in designing a piece, one must answer the question, why must it exist?
It has to be different. So now you can tell, when you look at something, like, oh, it's a Cobonpue. And you have that, you know, because in a brand, when you're making a brand is a story that you say, you tell over and over again. You know? And if you don't have a story, then you don't have a product.
Kenneth Cobonpue enthralled his fellow Cebuanos at the recent Creative Summit, recalling how, as a young boy, his playground was his mother Betty's furniture workshop in the family home.
It would teach me how to make things, how to weave, how to fashion things out of my own hands. So a lot of the toys that I played with, I built on my own. So I built these little wooden things that rolled, that crawled, that flew. My mother always encouraged me to make something new, something different. So every time I do something that I would just copy from a book, and she would say, yeah, that's nice, you know, but I think you can do something better, something unique.
So she pushed you, she egged you?
Yes, yes, because my mother was designing and making her own kind of furniture, which was very different at that time. She invented a technique of working with rattan, you know, which she has an invention patent for. My mother was an interior designer who studied in New York, and when she got back, she was doing a lot of design work for her clients. And she found that she couldn't get good furniture, so she had to make her own furniture. And she started from one carpenter, then grew to like 5 craftsmen, and soon we had a little bustling factory right in our own garden.
Kenneth was born in Cebu on the 16th of December 1968. His father, John Cobonpue, was a businessman who had a car sales and lending business and also dabbled in real estate. After completing his secondary studies at the Jesuit-run Sacred Heart School, Kenneth went to the University of the Philippines, Diliman.
After I graduated, my father wanted me to take up business instead of design. I came from a Chinese family, and he said business was applicable to anything anyway, so why don't you just take it up, and if you really wanted to take up design, take it after. Yeah.
So there was a tug of war.
Right. So, you know, I did, you know, what the dutiful thing that an eldest son would do. On my second year, you know, in the middle of an accounting course, you know, I said, this is not for me. Okay. So I decided to apply then to the nearest program to design, which was then the fine arts program. There was a drawing exam, you know, and there was a little painting, a live painting thing, and I really couldn't draw that well. And so I failed the exam. I didn't make it.
You're a reject from UP College of Fine Arts?
That's right, right. And a few years ago, they asked me to be their commencement speaker at the same college.
And you did?
And I did, and I did. And I told them, no, I did. And I told them, you know, that they were all so lucky to have graduated from this school, from this department, which I wanted to enter.
The young man spent a year taking up drawing lessons and applied with the Pratt Institute of New York, one of the top colleges in the U.S. The student who failed the UP Fine Arts practical exam earned a diploma in industrial design, graduating summa cum laude. While completing his degree, Kenneth apprenticed with a leather and wood workshop near Florence, Italy. In 1994, he studied furniture marketing and production in Germany under a state scholarship program.
There was really a path that you were carving out for yourself. So yes. What was that?
I didn't know that then, though. No, I didn't. No. I mean, I took all those, you know, because knowledge is always, knowledge is always good, any kind of new technology and information. I took that in. I wasn't really thinking about making a path.
You weren't even thinking you'll have a Kenneth Cobonpue brand?
No, no. That was a dream then. but
At the back of
I didn't
your
know I didn't know how to get there. I didn't have a roadmap on how to get there.
Fate intervened in 1996. Kenneth had to come home to bury his father.
After my studies in Germany, I went back to Cebu to take over all the other businesses that he had, including my mom's furniture business. I ended up closing everything except the furniture, which I really loved. So when I got back, I had to grow up very quickly and learn everything, learn about business. In fact, I learned a lot of business from his friends because my father was not there anymore. And yeah, I grew up, matured very quickly then.
At the age of 28, Kenneth took over management of the interior crafts of the islands, founded by his mother Betty in 1972.
She was very supportive of what I was doing. And I didn't think really for brand. I just wanted to give credit where it was due. Back then, everyone was making furniture for other companies. So we were designing, we were making things that would go under different brands, under different names abroad.
Why did you have to close your father's other businesses?
I didn't have the time. I didn't know anything much about them. I always believed that when you go into something, you go into something that you love, that you have a passion for.
What was it like also being away from the country for so long?
You see everything with new eyes, and you become really idealistic, and you see, after having lived abroad, I think it happens for everyone who's been abroad. You get frustrated with a lot of things, and that's why I'm still very idealistic at heart. And that's why the airport and there's a lot of things I want to change about society, because I know that it doesn't have to be that way because I've experienced it. And so when I went back, and I understood the whole market, the whole furniture market from living abroad. And most important of all is I understood how the rest of the world lives. When you're really designing furniture, you're really designing for a world market. It's very important to know how people live, how people like their things.
In 2001, Kenneth established Hive, a lighting and home accessories company.
You are mentoring on your own. Yeah, tell us about Hive, how it came about.
It was actually, initially it was always business motive then, that I needed lighting, I needed accessories, and I wanted to become like an umbrella brand for other talents, other Filipino talents. In fact, we had a lot of designers, known designers from Asia, designing for it, and now from all over the world. But always using Filipino skills, materials, and craftsmanship. And that's the common thing. That's the only condition that had to be produced in the country.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
Kenneth speaks Italian and German, having studied and worked in both Germany and Italy. But it was in Italy where he fell in love. In 1995, he married Suzanne Wild, who hails from Germany.
It was not easy, from a country of order and cleanliness and systems to come to Cebu. It was not easy, yeah. And now she's helping in the factory.
So she is working with you also?
Yes, yeah. So she provides order and systems there,
Oh, so it's a perfect marriage.
Yeah, you can say that, yes. It's not that easy though when you have to work together.
Yeah.
Because then you tend to bring business at home, you tend to bring a lot of the problems at home, and so there's a lot of compromises to be made there.
It's not unusual to discuss business on the dinner table?
No, it's not.
It never ends.
It never ends, and that's a problem.
And when you're in bed, you're still talking.
Yeah, and you're still arguing over what you did that and this, and and that's something that I reminded you several times, you never did it, and so and that can become strenuous, in fact.
So
I don't recommend it, actually, unless it's.
Tell us about the attraction.
I was in Italy, in fact, and I was there for, we were part of this Catholic organization, the Focolare movement. We fell in love there. We were both, I was still studying at that time, and she was also a student.
The Cobonpues have two sons, Julian and Andre, who are in their early teens.
Are they taking up after you?
Yeah, they're very they're interested in design, and they've been coming to the factory, learning. I think it's too early to tell, but I never want to force them into that path. You know, it's something that they should love, they should want to do.
How are you as a father?
Actually, it's a time that's really, you know,
More than
I wish I had spent, yeah, that I could spend more time with them. Because of my travels and a very busy schedule. So I we go on vacations a lot. You know, try to spend really, you know, quality time with them. I realized that as my career grows, that becomes increasingly difficult.
What are the principles that you stress to your children, or you want them to be guided by as they grow up?
If I can teach them the value of working hard, working honestly, then I think I would have really succeeded.
Is that difficult in an environment where, you know, you're pretty much very, very comfortable?
In an environment of entitlement, that becomes difficult. And so now I'm teaching them, like this summer, I'm bringing them to the factory, giving them assignments to do, you know, and I think it starts from there, and really exposing them early on. I bring them now to all the shows abroad.
The way you were as a young boy.
Right. They help me unpack the furniture, and they love it.
Next on People.
Kenneth, are we looking at the next automobile magnate?